When people mention Super Mario 64 speedrunning, they're usually talking about the 120 star category. This is not without good reason. Collecting every star in the game fast enough to set a world record takes a level of consistency that can only be reached after thousands of hours of dedicated playtime, with tricks being carefully considered as to whether the time saved is worth the increase in difficulty. But there's another type of run that often gets overlooked: single star speedruns. The objective of single stars is to collect an individual star as quickly as possible. This creates a contrast between it and 120 star runs. Consistency is cast aside for individual frames of time save. New tricks are added the moment they are possible. In short, single star speedruns require just as much skill and dedication to the game as full game runs do, but in completely different ways. Due to how short these runs are, stretching from a minute and a half all the way down to just 5 seconds, their level of optimization far outpaces any of Super Mario 64's full game categories, even including the shortest of them, 0 star, which currently stands at 6 minutes, 27 seconds, and 380 milliseconds. In that category, the top runners usually play within about 10 to 15 seconds of their sum of best segments. While this is an incredible level of consistency, it is a far cry from single-star world records, which rarely have more than a few frames to save. Before we start though, I don't like to show for subs or anything, so here's this guy.
And boys, hey, if you enjoyed the video, you can like, you can subscribe, I really do appreciate it, but check out my merch. If not, boys, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel.
I don't know, just do whatever he says, I guess. One of the most iconic stars in SM64 speedrunning is behind Chain Chomp's gate. While there isn't a faster viable trick for collecting the star than the bomb clip, there is a faster way of getting to the bomb. By diving into and then sliding down a slope, Mario has more speed than from normal movement options. He is able to preserve this speed by performing a tech known as speed kicks. This allows Mario to make up for the time lost going to the slope, saving roughly half a second over moving straight to the bomb. This is also a good time to mention how timing works in single star runs. In a full game run, the star grab performed in this world record would lose a considerable amount of time since Mario does not start the celebration animation until he has landed on the ground. The timing of a single star run ends when the star is touched though. While this is a small difference, it matters when comparing the timing of a star in a single star context versus a full game context, as it does add a degree of leniency that is not present otherwise. While some stars are largely the same, the stars that change radically from full game counterparts are way more interesting. In full game runs, Blast to the Stone Pillar is a star where every runner seems to use a different strategy. Liam takes the cannon, Ouija frame walks up the pillar, whereas Chi is used to run around the parameter of the map and jump from the ship to just barely reach the platform with a wall kick. Each of these strats have their pros and cons and are all within a few seconds of each other. In the end though, none of these methods would be used to collect the star as quickly as possible. Instead, a backwards long jump, or BLJ, is performed off one of the rocks near the level spawn. From here, Mario uses a wall to turn himself around and land in the water, preserving the speed and allowing Mario to swim and surface onto the cannon's platform. With a leap, Mario launches into the air and dives into a star with a time of 9.37 seconds, saving roughly 4 seconds over the frame walk, the optimal trick done in full game runs. What's even more interesting though is comparing it to the cannon. The biggest issue with the cannon in full game attempts is that it requires a cutscene to open. This isn't an issue in single star runs though, as you are allowed to watch the cutscene before the run, such that it does not play during the speedrun. Despite this making the cannon several seconds faster than it would be in a full game run, the BLJ still edges out the cannon by roughly a second. Absurd BLJs are something of a trend in single star runs. In Jolly Roger Bay alone, 5 of the 7 stars use the BLJ, with the only 2 stars not currently featuring BLJs being the 100 coins and 8 red coin stars. This doesn't mean that the strategies used are in any way similar though. While they each start on the same rock that Blast to the Stone Pillar uses, they all deviate from there. Can the eel come out to play is arguably the most straightforward of the 4. After performing the BLJ, Mario hugs the edge of the map before jumping at the edge of the water. His speed carries him to the ship, after which he completes the star like normal, swimming to the eel then waiting for it to come out. The other 3 stars that BLJ are a bit more unique though. Plunder in the Sunken Ship, Through the Jet Stream, and Treasure of the Ocean Cave all involve Mario swimming through the water. This is an issue, as BLJing into water generally enters Mario into a swimming state, preventing Mario from utilizing the BLJ speed. While it may save time to BLJ as far into the water as possible and then swim the rest of the way, something a little more creative is possible. Inside this box is the Metal Cap power-up. Super Mario 64 has 3 power-ups. Outside of the Wing Cap though, these power-ups are pretty niche. The Vanish Cap is the most limited of these. It allows Mario to walk through very specific walls, metal fences, and enemies. Meanwhile, the Metal Cap makes Mario immune to toxic clouds and drowning. Counterintuitively though, the most useful aspect of the Metal Cap is that it makes Mario unable to swim. Instead of swimming, Mario slowly sinks until he reaches the ground, at which point he can walk around. By performing a BLJ while having the metal cap active, Mario never enters a swimming state. This allows the speed from the BLJ to remain uninterrupted. Through the jet stream begins by grabbing the metal cap before BLJing off the rock. Once Mario has the necessary speed, he wraps around the side of the map and lines himself up to land on a slanted wall under the surface of the water. Since Metal Cap Mario is able to stand on this wall, he enters a normal grounded state. This allows him to quickly reach the ocean floor. From there, Mario jumps and grabs the star in a time of 12.57 seconds. Treasure of the Ocean Cave is even more involved than this. It begins the exact same way as through the jet stream, with Mario grabbing the metal cap and BLJing. This time though, Mario has to aim for a weak section of the wall. Hitting this spot allows Mario to clip through the wall and warps him into the water below. Once clipped, Mario moonwalks to the chest where he ledge grabs the platform to cancel the BLJ speed. At this point, it's business as usual with Mario approaching the 4 chests in order and collecting the star in 25.84 seconds. The last star that uses a BLJ is plundering the sunken ship. Starting out much like through the jet stream, Mario grabs the metal cap power up and BLJs on the rock before turning himself to aim for a part of the wall where he can walk on. From here, he moonwalks down to a jutting rock, ramping off of it and onto the wall across from him. This allows him to avoid needing to go around the sunken ship. From here, Mario can walk down the rest of the way and clip into the ship without needing to bait out the eel, where it then becomes gameplay as usual, with Mario swimming to the chest in the correct order and spawning the star. Other notable stars that use BLJs include Metalhead Mario Can Move, Bowser in the Dark World with red coins, and Blast to the Lonely Mushroom. Of course, it isn't just crazy BLJs that become viable in single star runs. Single star runs are where mythical tricks become realized. For the longest time, carpetless has been both a naive request and an unfunny joke in Super Mario 64 speedrunning.
Learn carpetless? Does he know? What if I learned your mom's—
Anyway, breaking an arbitrary boundary is coveted by every speedrunner. Any world record is impressive, but there is something so permanent about the runs that break a minute barrier. With carpetless saving a minute, it is permanence all on its own. The only issue is that it's really hard. In order to perform carpetless, Mario must make his way up to the ship. He starts by performing a wall kick to reach the rotating platforms. From here, Lakitu is manipulated into a precise position so that once Mario has performed the triple jump wall kick, he lands on Lakitu's head, allowing him to jump and kick his way to the pole. With a few wall kicks, Mario reaches the ship and can really start doing the hard stuff. By picking up a bomb and throwing it, it starts to explode. Despite being on the verge, Mario is still able to pick up the now expanded Bob-omb. This causes Mario to clip into the Bob-omb's collision, leading to the game trying to push Mario out every frame. Since Mario is holding the Bob-omb though, the game is unable to get Mario out, causing Mario to be continually pushed back. The Bob-omb still has a fuse though, so Mario needs to throw it away again, this time picking it up by diving. By sliding off the ledge while picking it up, Mario enters a hands-free holding state, allowing Mario to perform his normal moveset. As long as Mario does not walk during this state, the Bob-omb will not explode. From here, Mario is pushed into a warp. After the warp is when the trick truly becomes difficult though. Despite being visually absent, the Bob-omb continues to push Mario. Once he has navigated up to 2 platforms, Mario performs a side flip to the house. Mario must then perform 2 frame-perfect wall kicks at incredibly precise angles. If he lands both of these wall kicks just right, Mario has barely enough height to ground pound onto the rooftops and be pushed into the star. Whether runners ever attempt carpetless in full game runs is impossible to know. If it ever does happen, it will have been due to its viability being tested and proven in single star attempts. And if it doesn't make it, it will forever exist as one of the greatest achievements confined to the single star records.
Here we go!
This doesn't mean that every single star run features crazy, barely viable tricks that may never get a 120 star world record. While most stars vary dramatically from what is done in full game speedruns, there are some stars that are virtually identical. In Cuckoo Mountain, the star Snowman's lost his head has very little room for action. Mario simply has to guide the snowman's body back to his head. With the star being dependent on when the body reaches the head, a lot of the star is just waiting for it to end. The same is true in Bob-omb Battlefield. Foot Race with Koopa the Quick is basically an auto-scroller. It doesn't matter how optimally Mario moves, the race doesn't end until the Koopa reaches the top. The only difference between individual star runs and full game runs is that in 120 star, the downtime provides an opportunity to open the level's canon, while single star runners can just stand around. In terms of time though, they're practically the same. While working on this video, I got curious. I wanted to see just how hard it is to get a world record in Super Mario 64. Would it be easier than expected, or would I even be able to do it? I have some experience running Super Mario 64, but I'm far from being a top runner. After some trial and error though, I settled on Snowman's Lost His Head. While it may be one of the easier single-star world records, it still requires 5 frame-perfect inputs, as well as completely optimal movement to the snowman's head. I wasn't sure if I would be able to do it, but even so, I started up my Twitch stream, which you should really follow by the way, twitch.tv/rubbertoe64, and got to work grinding. Ooh, 35-36. Yo, improvement? Ooh, 35-36, another tied one. 35-33. What? Dude. $33. New PB. 35-30. Let's go. Ooh, 35-30. Bruh. I might have let go of the camera early there. 30. Come on. How was that not sub 30? Ah! Was that a 30? Bruh. That was the 30. 26! 26! 26! Ah! Let's go! Oh! Dude! Oh my god! I didn't even realize. I thought it said 36, dude. Oh! Dude! Mother buff? 26 again! Yo! Woohoo! Another tie. Okay. 26 again, dude. Come on. Dude. 26 again, dude. Ah! By December 30th, I was close to giving up. I had invested nearly 24 hours into the star in under a week, only to get countless runs that were a single frame off. This had already pushed the video off schedule, and I was going to be away for the holiday weekend, so I was close to cutting my losses and just getting the video out. With minutes left before I needed to leave, I started one final attempt. '23, 26. Let's go! Let's fucking go, dude! Ah! Woo! Dude! Let's go! I got it! I got the tie!
It was probably the snowman thing, dude.
I'd love to see other people give runs like this a try. If you do, push your times down in the comments. Everyone always talks about how speedrunning is a pursuit for perfection. What they don't mention is that perfection is on a scale. Only on the smallest level is true perfection attainable. The quest for perfection in Super Mario 64 is one that can only be achieved a single star at a time.